Now it's 6 o'clock in the fucking morning. I'm tired. That's that motivation shit at 8 o'clock. That motivation's gone. You hit that snooze button, you've now lost the war. The one thing you can control, you've lost. Already lost. So then you snooze. Let's say you get up at 6:45 now, because you snooze a few times. You go in the shower, now your day's all late, you started, so now you feel a little guilty now, you fucking missed your workout. You go in the shower, you're running late for work now. So now, all these things you can control, now once you open that door of your apartment or your house, you're now in the real fucking world. And guess what the real world's gonna do? It's gonna fuck you up. You'll get to work, the boss may not like you that day, he may be fucking mad. So the whole thing about the jar of you must win the war in the morning. So then when you go into life that you cannot control, you've already mentally won so many battles early in the morning. So you're going into war having already won something. So you're not going to war defeated. You're going to war knowing I did my push-ups, I did my sit-ups, I read, I meditated, whatever the you do, you're prepared for what the life is going to bring you. But most of us, we walk into war with no weapon. And the weapon is this. The weapon is this. We haven't sharpened it. If you go into a fire and you don't sharpen that blade, I'm a wildland firefighter. We use a tool called Pulaski. If you don't sharpen the point of that fucking Pulaski, and you start digging in rock, it's gonna be a hard ass dig. If you keep that nice and sharp, like your mind, every war you go into, you get a better chance of survival. But we fuck up in the morning. We don't win what we can win. We leave our house a mess. We leave our life a mess. And that's how our life becomes. Every single morning, the first thing I do is I get up in the morning time and I run. The one thing I hate the most is running. So if I'm attacking the thing I hate the most, I go home, I put a chip right in the jar, in the mental jar. I won already, motherfucker. I've already won. I've already beat myself. So the only person that you're fighting every day is yourself. It's not your boss. It's not this or that. Yeah, those are all obstacles. A lot of them you cannot control those obstacles, but you can control yourself. You can control how you start your day. But a lot of us choose not to do that. So a lot of people read my face and they say, you know, you're stoic, you're not happy, you're not this, you're not that, you talk so much darkness. What people don't understand is that enlightenment, peace, you first must go through hell. You first must go through suffering. To find that great peace we're all looking for, a lot of us want to have, there's a lot of books out there about this 5 steps. Do this, do this, do this, get there. No, man, it's not that easy. To find real, permanent peace and enlightenment, you must go to the dark side of who you are. I could have easily just shoved my whole life under a rug and went straight to peace. Are you happy there? You overcame nothing. You jumped hell, you skipped hell, you forego this part of your life, you skip it and go right to peace. So you always have this thing back here that's haunting you, and that's that darkness. You must go into the darkness to truly find that light that you're looking for, because that's what's on the other side of that. People get it all wrong, man. You have to face suffering. You have to face this dark side, this darkness. And there's a lot of energy in there. There's a lot of goodness in there that you can use to find greatness. But you cannot find your peace you're looking for in yourself until you've overcome yourself. We all, like this whole Instagram world, we love showing people this world that we have, this fake world that we show everybody the good side of us. I don't do that. I want to show you how up I am so you can learn. I'm not gonna learn from your great big house and your trips you go on and your beautiful shoes. And we all love to see what people have, their nice. Show me your ugly. That's what I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna learn from the dark, nasty that we all have, that we all want to just scoot under a rug and say doesn't exist. We all have it. This is just my story. We all have it. So the only way to overcome it is to face it, deal with it, overcome it. when I came up, I was born David Goggins. David Goggins was a young man, young kid that didn't really know true reality. Was a kid that wasn't able to handle a lot of things. Me knowing that my foundation was broken, I had to rebuild a whole foundation. I had to pick up this crooked house, that was me, pick it up with one hand, get all this concrete, I had to lay this nice and flat, get all this shit out, and rebuild this foundation and lay this house back on a nice foundation. That foundation now is Goggins. I had to recreate myself to a man that I wanted to be. Not what the world made me. Not what life made me. Life made me a scared, timid, insecure, afraid kid. And when you're a man and you look at that mirror every day of your life and you do not like the reflection in it, if you choose to live in that, that is your fault. We have the ability to recreate ourselves. And I decided to recreate myself in the form of Goggins. And that is a person that I said, I'm not going to be this guy that's insecure and afraid, all this other stuff. I want to be this guy. I want to be my own hero. I want to be a guy that I look up to. I want to see me and be proud of me. I want to look in that reflection and be proud of me. But the only way I'm going to do that is all that big shackle, that big satchel that my life had to start emptying it. And David Goggins couldn't do that. That's much too frightening, man. Goggins had to go back there and say, I got this. Let's go. Let's man the. So that's where Goggins comes from. It's a person I had to create to start handling how to fix David Goggins. I'm not saying go in your own and kiss it by any means. That's not it. I'm not saying, I am saying love yourself, be proud of yourself, but you have to be able to go back and fix your life. No one's gonna help you out. No one. Like, I believe there's a lot of theorists out there. There's theorists that go into a library, take a lot of classes, read a lot of books on the mind. They read about the mind. They know how it's supposed to work in situations. I became a practitioner. And a practitioner is a person that doesn't read about it, actually does it, and then studies it while he's in it. So my knowledge doesn't come from reading a book that someone wrote that says this is how it's supposed to be. Someone that never even lived it, but they read about it somewhere. And they took that theory, made another theory, another theory, another theory. I'm the practitioner who said, you know what? I'm going to go in hell with my notebook and my pen. And I'm going to sit in this mother. And I'm going to see what my mind does here, how my mind processes. But instead of leaving hell, because you can't get any data that way. There's no data when you leave. The real answers come when you stay. So I have to stay here to get the answers to what's going on up here. So everything I talk about is not something that I read, it's something that I lived. And I got the chance to go back through my mind and see how my mind operated in hell. And that's how I got these answers. By saying, oh man, when it was hour 72 of Hell Week, and I had another 2 days to go, and my body was broken, all I wanted to do was leave, what made me stay? How did you stay? So I figured out what the mind was doing. So I was asking you all these questions. And a lot of theorists don't understand that. A lot of theorists don't really know what the mind is doing in there. They read about it, but I'll tell you what it does. And I became a practitioner.